reaching. When I say reach, I'm talking flagrant.
Flagrant.
All right, this is the first time recording like this.
Yeah. There you go. See how it goes.
Yeah, but we're back, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of It's on Us podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can't see nothing now.
Wow, why'd you do that? All right.
Because.
That works.
So, episode 99.
99 problems,
Today-
but a podcast ain't one. Oh, but
Today, from my left to my right, I got the one and only Mr. Osh Blair.
yo.
Then I got, that guy, Mr. Schrader.
What's up?
Then I got the one and only nephew. Got the one and only Mr. Cliff.
Hey.
And then a very special guest,
Mm-hmm.
a local Lorain native, Mr. Dominic Price.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, sir. How are you today?
I'm good. Thanks for you guys having me.
Oh, no problem. So, Osh was the first gentleman that recommended you for the show.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
He actually introduced me to you from your business card.
Okay.
Because when he was starting his brand,
Mm-hmm.
he showed me his business card. I was like, I like it. And I'm like, I like it too. Because it was so simple.
Yeah.
Simple and like classic, and it had good material. I think that's what it showed me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, so can we just start off like how did you come up with a business card like that?
Well, maybe start off with what business do you do?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, something like
sorry.
that, not a business card.
I'm
like-
sorry, I was infatuated with this business card.
American Psycho over there.
Do you have one running right
That's
now?
like a side question.
Like, what is his business?
Hey, what do you do?
He is a media group owner.
Jesus Christ, can you let him?
I'm sorry.
introduce himself?
Oh, that's pretty
Ooh,
cool.
ooh.
That's sexy.
Visual for everybody.
Oh,
That's a sexy
Can
card,
see
isn't it? Yep. Transparent.
I like that.
Oh, this was actually
First one
my
you do.
first.
Oh, you got the prototypes?
So the logo was different. Had a camera. I initially started out as First24 Photography, but then that was when I just trademarked my brand name itself. And then when I went to officially do like a LLC for the brand, I'm like, at the end of the day, I knew I was going to expand more than just photography. So then I just thought bigger and changed it to Media Group.
Nice.
That is reminiscent of what we did, sort of.
Yeah.
We started as a podcast, and then Jacob, he wanted to do like branch out a little more, so he's now doing like beer reviews with another friend of ours, and we're having another podcast production soon, and these guys are going to be doing their own thing. So it was like not just It's On Us podcast. It was like, okay, let's do more than that.
Indeed.
so what exactly birthed your whole business idea? Like, what did you do? Like one day, like what woke you up?
I didn't want to work for the man.
It's a good response.
That's everybody.
I feel that.
No, but pretty much it stemmed from just my early childhood. I was around pretty much entrepreneurs. So
Okay.
my grandfather, he worked at Ford, but he also did just side jobs on the side. So me, I want to say at that time, I'm like 4 or 5 years old. I was always on his hip. So I personally knew, like, if I helped my grandfather, he was going to get me Hardee's. Like, back in the day, Hardee's used to be on 28th Street.
I was obsessed with it.
Yeah, he gave me Hardee's or Long John Silver.
Okay.
So, I was a cheap employee. He paid me with food. But
Oh,
it was like one of those things of, painting houses or cutting grass with him. And, yeah, that was my mentor from that time being, because my father was incarcerated until I was 5. So, like, that was my father figure before my father, stepped back into my life.
Right.
But knowing that, but then also seeing my father's struggles with work, that kind of, stemmed or birthed that idea of me wanting to be an entrepreneur myself.
Right.
Because, what was it? I witnessed my dad, he worked for a job for 7 years, and then they just shut down. And then he worked for another company in Elyria for 11 years, and then they just shut down. So, just seeing how he had to make adjustments to his life, and then, going in that relationship with my wife. At the time, she was my girlfriend. And I was like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm never going to work the factory gig. Like, not knocking anybody that's in that
Right.
field.
It's no
It's
disrespect.
not for you.
Yeah, just for myself, like, just seeing that and knowing that they can tell my father to not come, was one of those things where I was like, you know what, I'm gonna figure it out, and then I'm gonna grind and build my own stuff. So that's where it originally started from.
Okay, and at what age were you when you told her that?
But I've been back 10 years, so yeah, I was like 20, 23, 24.
Ooh, a young age. Like,
Yeah.
that's not.
He said, "You know what? This ain't working out for me."
That's usually not
Man.
too far removed from college or anything. You know what I mean? Versus going into the workforce, you're like, no, I'm working for myself. Like,
Yeah, and in between those two, like I got a big passion with the community.
mhm.
So I worked with the Boys and Girls Club,
Nice.
and then I also worked with the Lorain County Urban League. So it was just outreach. Outreach is a true thing for me,
Right.
and I'm glad also that being an entrepreneur gives me that flexibility to still do and give back to the community when I desire to as well.
Because if I'm not mistaken, you just got a contract, or you're going to do the Elyria Mini Football League,
Yeah,
the
so
Mini Pioneers.
yeah, so in December I
You
had
would know about Elyria.
That's where he's from. So yeah.
Shut up.
Jacob's from Elyria.
Oh,
He
okay.
doesn't
I
like
grew
to like
up in
really say
Lorraine.
that like out loud, but he just
grew
makes
up-
little hints at it.
I
every
grew up
now
in
and
Lorraine,
then.
but I live in Elyria now.
Inside, he's screaming like,
Gotcha.
"Let's go!"
And I'm the opposite. So
Okay.
I grew up in Lorain. Now we live in Elyria, and then from there I took a photography class for sports and high volume photography.
Okay.
And
That'd
then
be dope.
I reached out to the league because I knew a few of the coaches, and I was actually on the neck like, hey, I'm trying to do this. And then once they show interest, I'm like, hold on, I'm taking a class actually for this. Let me come back and speak to you guys at the table once I have that class under my belt. And then from there, we met up, and they said, a lot of the parents and grandparents are supporters of the youth. They like keychains and buttons. So if you can provide that, you got the contract. So I, changed my whole website dynamic and how I did orders and prints and stuff in that fashion.
Right.
'Cause I learned some stuff too.
Okay.
That was very vital from the class. And I was able to give that option. So once I got it solidified with the website, I met with the gentleman, and yeah, the rest was history. So
That's what's
that'll
up.
be the first organization that I'm a part of.
Okay.
And once people see that, it's just gonna trickle down.
Oh, yeah.
From there.
Well, congratulations, man.
Thank
When
you.
does that start?
It's the football season, so
Oh, okay.
it'll be
September-ish.
about August, because we're gonna knock it out early.
Okay.
So his
Pretty
foot's
cool.
already in the door. So
Right.
at this point, it's up. At this
Exactly.
point, like,
Yeah, and then I'm literally yesterday I called a few people and said, hey, their child is in soccer. Soccer's coming up. So I'm trying to think ahead with the sports, because a lot of times like basketball just ended. So if I was to try to solidify some things with basketball, it's already too late, or they're
Right.
already contracted with companies. So I'm like football, soccer. I know somebody that plays lacrosse, so I'm just reaching out, sowing those seeds, and then present it to the media platforms and allow those families and friends to share it to their sports and their leagues.
Right. Because all it takes is like one share nowadays on Facebook, and if
Yeah.
somebody likes your work, it's
You
like,
try like LYB too.
Well,
I don't think they got a contract with anybody.
see,
so who inspired you to first pick up a camera? Like when was that like, oh, this is cool, I might try it?
so the funny story about it, my background is in art.
Okay.
So from kindergarten to my senior year, I was in art class. So that was my initial first median into creating. So I actually stumbled into photography, but it was something that was destined from I guess the story of my life in general. So when I was in Alabama, I had so this is like 2012, 2013. I purchased a camera just to be able to come back home and capture like family and friends. So it was just to have those memories. So from there, I would just I would walk around, capture stuff that caught my eye, from graffiti, nature, and then just anything. And then I started posting on Facebook. And then I remember somebody was like, "Hey, how much would you charge to capture a birthday party?" And I'm like, "Shit, I don't know." Like, that wasn't my intention.
Mm-hmm.
So I just threw out a price that seemed reasonable at that time, and they, inquired me for 3 hours, and then from there, that was like the birth of it. So, that, but then also, once I started getting more serious with it, one of my grandmother's friends, my grandma passed when I was 5, so one of her friends had reached out to me, and she was just saying that she saw the gift of my grandma through me. And I'm like, man, what? So that made me reflect on life. And then I had to think about when I was younger, my grandmother had like tons of photo albums.
Mm-hmm.
So
Just like every other grandma,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I swear, my grandma like that too, bro.
So,
she got so many.
Once I had created that connection, I'm like, dang, my grandma did like taking pictures. So it was just like something that I didn't know that was, that I kept or, was able to birth from her, in turn, was something that allowed me to start this business. So
Nice.
That's what's up.
Nice.
And so you moved down to Alabama then?
So yeah, I was a knucklehead when I was younger.
Who isn't?
No, I was terrible.
I remember the old Dominic.
I
said I heard about
Hold on, Dominic, hold on.
Put the face to the name.
I was definitely terrible. And one day, my cousin, he was going to school in Georgia. It was on Mother's Day, I remember.
Okay.
And he was like, "Hey man, I'm about to ride out. You want to come?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't got no ties here." Packed up all my clothes in the trunk, put my TV in there, and then we just got on the road. And then I remember driving, and we got to Atlanta, and then we kept driving. An hour passed, 2 hours passed, and I'm like, "Man, where are we going?" Like, it's looking like literally like Jeepers Creepers, and I'm just seeing fields, and we're steady driving, and we were so far at the bottom of Georgia. We were literally like an hour from Florida, and I was out there for, I would say, less than 30 days, and I couldn't find work because of my past. So when I was younger, I had got a record, and that didn't allow me to get a job when I moved to a different state. So from there, I had a cousin that was closer to Atlanta. I moved in with her, and I went to school. And that whole, 2 semesters of me staying with her, I still couldn't get work because of my record. And then one day my aunt, once the semester was over, she's like, "Hey, move out here with me, and I'll get you a job." So I moved out there Friday. Monday I had a job at Taco Bell. I was whipping them tacos.
Hey, no wrong with Taco Bell's first shot, all right?
Yeah, Jacob worked at Taco Bell.
Hey, that shit was fun. I
Shout
like
out to
working at
Taco
Taco
Bell.
Bell.
Jake, he used to hook me up.
Hey,
Oh, sure.
anybody I knew that came through the drive-thru, want a frutista? I got you.
Man.
I remember the first time pulling up to the window and seeing him pop out. I'm like, man,
like,
I
He said, "Give me my goddamn food."
No, it was very a learning experience because I was living in a college town. So I lived the University of Alabama. So
Ooh-wee.
when they would tailgate,
That shit go
and you
crazy.
see a bus pull up to Taco Bell, and you're like, "Drop everything. We need
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that.
Get the steamer out. You need 3 beef, 3 chicken drop ASAP.
Like, give us 3 12 taco boxes." And yeah. But I learned a lot there. I worked on the campus as well. Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
So are you by default like a Bama fan?
At that time, yes. But I worked so much that I wasn't even able to, go to the game.
Okay.
So,
I heard their games be jumping though.
yeah, like if a game's Friday or Saturday, their tailgates start on Wednesday.
What?
God damn.
Y'all kicking it for 3-4 days?
No, for real. Like they'll set up by the mall area, and then you walk over there, and a person literally could just say like "Roll Tide," and you're gonna eat, you're gonna drink, whatever. Like that's the type of environment it was out there.
Sounds fun. I ain't even
God damn.
It sounds hot.
Jacob, move the mic a little bit from your mouth.
Oh, that was too loud in your
It's
ears.
a little loud. Yeah.
Sorry. Gotta make sure you can hear me.
Thank you.
Oh, we hear you.
Thanks, man. But so reading your bio, and a thing that popped out to me that I thought was pretty cool, just because it kind of relates to Lorain, is when you go on vacation, you like to try different pizzerias.
Yeah.
Is that because of Lorain has so many different, or this area, or what?
No.
What is it?
It's more so like my wife, she loves pizza.
Okay.
So it's like that's one of our things, like pizza and ice cream.
I feel that.
So
At least I got like
I
a-
didn't want to just put a whole bunch of food on the list. But yeah, that was one of the things where if we go somewhere trying pizza, I would say the top pizza out here for me is a place in Parma called Stancato's. Like, I know we're not sponsored by them, but
It's fine. It's fine.
no, their pizza is clutch.
Gotta try that. Stancato's.
What is it about their pizza that's like?
Yeah,
Is it the
Tell
crust?
me
Is
more
it the
flavor.
sauce?
The flavor, the atmosphere. Your appetizers are like this homemade bread and the sauce, and it's different.
Making me hungry, man.
Do you have a what's your favorite out of state pizza?
In what state, I guess?
Yeah, I guess what state?
It was. I remember we went to Texas. We were on a fort. We were in Texas, and my brother-in-law, he graduated from the Air Force. I don't remember the name, but their setup was kind of like a Chipotle. So you can literally tell them what you want on the pizza, and then after that, they're gonna throw it in the bricks, and it was amazing.
That's what's up. Brick pizza's the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely gotta try pizza, chicken, like seafood, steak.
I'm a good
ribs.
I'm a
I
good
like
breakfast
steak.
guy.
I'm terrible
Yeah.
now, though.
Breakfast,
I'm
I
a
like-
vegetarian.
Oh, are
You're
you?
vegetarian.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
What caused the switch?
It was just like a trial. Like at the time, it was funny. Like my first instance of stop eating a certain meat was I used to hang around Muslims, and
Pork.
the one guy, he was like, anytime I was hungry, he was kind of like a big brother. Like he would always order me stuff, but it was intentional, like turkey breast, chicken breast, or whatever. And then I remember it was a holiday, and my dad, he was cooking ribs, and I'm like, man, I'm not Muslim, man. I was eating the ribs. But from there, I don't know if it was like that time span of not having it. I kind of had like a stomach ache, so then I just stopped eating it from like 07. And then what was it? I'm trying to think what year Ashi graduated.
2011.
Yeah, so I think Jaleesa was like 2010, her and Mikey, if I'm not mistaken. But I stayed out there with them for a little bit in DC, and like the roommates, it was like one was a vegetarian, one was a vegan, other one was pescatarian, and like their meals were amazing. And I'm like, you know what, I could try this. So that's what initially like sparked the idea of just wanting change, and then I just gradually removed things from my my diet from there. So I think 2010 I stopped eating beef, and then 2011 I stopped eating chicken and turkey, and I did seafood all the way to 19, and I just got an allergic reaction. So yeah, I don't know if it was just a selfish allergic reaction, but I just threw everything out from there. Like that was a reason for me to
Hell yeah,
stop.
that's enough for me to stop it right there.
So, what's your go-to vegetarian dish? Because I know like
It's hard.
because like I'm like I know I have friends that like have dietary restrictions or that are vegetarians. So and I like to cook. So I'm kind of trying to like learn a little bit of like what is best to cook that's vegetarian.
So
I guess is the best way to say it.
So like me, I'm half Puerto Rican, so my wife had to learn a little bit of Puerto Rican like food ethnicity.
Okay.
So she'll make like veggie pastelillos for me.
Okay.
So that you can't go wrong with beans and rice.
No.
But it like I try a little bit of everything. Like I'll go on Pinterest and just look up like veggie recipe, and then I'll go get the stuff and try to make it.
Okay. That's what's up.
So, question: like, when you made the switch from like not eating red meat, the processed foods as much, like, how did your body feel afterwards, like not having it? Like,
So I have spurts, and it's definitely a learning experience because you can see an individual that's a vegetarian and they still have the weight on them, like because oftentimes when a person removes something, they consume something more. So if a
Yep.
person removes the meats, they're gonna eat more of the pastas. They're gonna eat more of the bread. So in turn, they're really not losing anything. So like right now for myself, my church, they're doing like a consecration. So for me, I always this month when I did it, I'm like, you know what? I'm a vegetarian. I feel like that was cheating because I already not eating meat. So I made it more stricter. Like for the whole month of March, I'm doing just straight raw vegetables and fruit. And I haven't even eaten yet today.
also you're doing the
Wow.
intermediate fasting on top of the veggies, and I want to get on that kick too. I just don't have a written out plan or formula. So
Yeah, I would just say if you want to start it, just gradually do it. And it can go from, taking a few meats away and then going from, I don't want to say just go cold turkey in it.
you know,
Because from there,
Body
you're
will go
gonna
under
be
shock.
craving. Yeah. The biggest thing is what people don't know until they fast is that when it comes to the removal of the sugar, like our bodies are so addicted to sugar that like that second or third day, you're just having like painful migraines because your body wants it. So like from back to what your question was, like for me eating this way for the past few days, I feel very energetic and I'm not as hungry as I typically be because I'm like a snacker.
Yeah, that's my problem too.
Snackies, yeah. Also in your bio, you talked about your first love was basketball.
Yeah.
Was you a hooper? Like, was
Yo,
you out there like
you
serving up
see the
dimes?
cheers in here, man. Animal King's finest, bro. Yeah.
Well, like, there's some people on the couch. I don't want to drop no names, John, that made a basketball team that should not have made a basketball team.
Bruh.
So I just want to make sure if we got a legit hooper or a pretender. I guess that's the best way to say it.
Hey, bro, I'm about to jump over this table.
True.
No, I was a a pretty decent player.
Okay.
Um,
Better than Osh? You could say it. We all know you were.
I just remember like growing up, like he was one of the people I looked up to.
Okay,
when
so
I
he was
hoping,
better
like,
than
yeah,
you.
because he of course older than
Okay.
me. So like it was like players like him, Pinkerton, Jeriel, Nixon, like athletes that like used to compete, and I just like watch them, and I'm like, okay,
That's what's up.
yeah. So yeah, for me, it was different. Like I give like a lot of my props to Russell and Curtis from the Salvation Army.
shout out to
Russ, we're actually going to have him on the show soon.
Perfect.
Yeah, so yeah, those were great mentors when it came to hoop. My dad was a basketball player as well, so he, ignited some things on that. But yeah, like being playing at the Sal in the parks, I felt like that gave like a different heart when it came to the court because my attitude on the court was just different. Like definitely was like I had like a dog mentality. Or I played like I had a chip on my shoulder.
Okay.
So it was just like, you knew like, man, that guy got some type of struggle or something.
Gabe plays like that. Gabe's a hard-nosed basketball player, man.
So that was a good component. But yeah, that was the first love, and I was real serious with it until probably like my freshman year. Cause middle school I was ranked in the state of Ohio because we played against some ranked players, and
That's pretty dope.
yeah, we did pretty good on that. And then the coach at Emerald King at the time, Miguel Curl, he had sent me out to Columbus my freshman year at the Nike All-American camp, and I was ranked in that because I made it to the All-Star team in that league. But once I got into school, I think we might have had like 3 different varsity coaches.
Okay.
So then that's kind of like when that whole, nature versus nurture kind of kicked in for me because of where I lived at.
Okay.
The Salvation Army had closed by the time I was in middle school, so it was a big shift in just reality for real. So, yeah. But I continue to play because that was just something to keep me out of trouble. But I was still distracted. Like, that's one of the things I do, like, regret. Like,
Okay.
should have taken it more serious.
Do you have like a favorite highlight or memory in your head that you just like remember? Like you could just be shooting the shit with your boys, and be like, you know what? There was this one time I did this or posterize somebody.
I actually had like a few game winners.
Okay, I mean you got that in common.
Yeah.
Jacob, man, he shoots like half court shots to end the game, and it's like his shot was like this. And he don't even got a form. Like, bro, you just throwing it.
Hey, but I hit that shit.
It's like when you're playing pickup, and it's like you don't guard him ever, but it's like you let him shoot, but then he'll hit the shot and be like, "What the
Game.
hell?" Yeah, like.
Hey, look, I can't
And
hit
then
it.
and then he'll look at you like, guard me. Like, no, yeah, I don't need to guard you.
He'll talk about that one highlight for like months. Like,
Hey, look, it's been a solid 5 years, and I'm still going off that highlight, bro.
Yeah. No, but yeah, the game winner versus a rival team was pretty like intense.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah.
So what year did you graduate from King then?
07.
Oh, 07.
Oh,
okay.
man.
Wait, you probably know my brother. Did you know JT Bennett? Tall ginger.
I'm good with faces.
Okay.
I'm
Probably know my
terrible.
older brother, Alex Saunders. He was on the football team.
Light skin, work at Ford.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He he was working out with Melissa.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Everybody working at 4, man. What the fuck? Why can't I get in?
That's just crazy that you brought up the Salvation Army days, because I remember like Russell and Curtis like opening the gym to like the community, and like that used to be the place to be. Like there, Central Park, like again, only dogs were allowed to play up there. Like if you weren't relatively like decent, you're not getting on the court.
Yeah, and another thing too, we had like fake rivalries, like territory beefs or whatever. But if you were a real hooper, you were allowed to go to Oakwood and play at night under the lights.
Mm-hmm.
So it was
That
like
makes
you
sense.
didn't have to worry about nothing if you were a hooper. And then we used to go from Central, Oakwood, went to like Strongsville and hoop. It was just different spots that we would go and compete against other people.
That's what's up. Kind of like an underground
Like
basketball
Baller's
league.
Life.
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
Baller's Life.
Yeah, before ball type of deal. But now you want to get back into playing though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a desire.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I tried to hoop Friday. I was actually on the highway coming out here, and then I checked with Ash, and he's like, "Yeah, we're not hooping today." I had to turn back around. I'm
Damn.
sorry.
Yeah, it was date night Friday, so
Do you golf at all?
I actually no, I don't golf yet.
You're with us this summer.
He's open minded. See, that's
Yeah.
good. You gotta be open minded to it.
Yeah, I got clubs. I bought clubs.
No,
last
he's
year.
a step ahead of me.
Oh yeah, he's a sub.
Yeah, pretty much like last year I went to Top Golf, and I know how to swing because one of my English teachers was the Mr.
Mr. Mazy.
Mr.
Yep.
Mazy was a golf coach, so he used to have this racket where you had to kind of perfect your form with a swing or it'll mechanically break. So I would try and practice and swing on that. And when we went to Top Golf, I was trying to remember how to swing, and I couldn't hit the ball like I wanted to. So then I just swung at it like a baseball. Now I was launching the ball. So my wife recorded it. I put it on Facebook. And somebody said I was swinging like Happy Gilmore. But it was going far. So from there, a relative reached out and he's like, "Hey, I want you to go with me when it gets warm." And then I told him that I would. And then like a few months later, he like unexpectedly passed away. So I was like, you know what? I made a promise to him. I'm going to get some clubs. Got them. I'm going to use them this season. I'm going to go to the range first.
Yeah, I was gonna say go to a range first, because that's when I first took John and Ash with me. I didn't have them go to a range,
Yeah.
and they was just like, I was like, oh.
Have you ever been to one at a range at all?
No.
No. Okay.
I'm range.
Go. Yeah. Okay. So when you get your basket of balls, okay, there's like gonna be a set of buckets next to the thing, all right. Make sure you use that and don't let your balls just disperse all over the fucking ground.
That's what this guy did. I meet him there one night. He's like, "Dude, if you would have came here 10 minutes earlier, you would have seen a show." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He was like, "Well, I didn't know you you hooked up the buckets.
They didn't say
for
nothing
the
about
ball.
that.
I'm like, John, you have your master's. I would think you're smart enough to see the bucket.
Bruh, it said nothing on the thing on the machine, and then the buckets were like tucked away on the side that you didn't even see them.
Bro, they're right there.
Well, I've never been to a range, and I was waiting for him to come, so I bought 90 balls. I'm like, all right, well, it was like a little touch screen. I said 90 balls, boop, card, boop, and all of a sudden I heard it like turn it up, and it was like on the ground, and everybody was sitting there. There was people that were on the range right behind it, and they were like trying to help me pick up the balls. I'm like, this is embarrassing. I'm about to leave.
Well, yeah. If you want to go golfing, hit me up. But I'd love to go.
Yeah, I started golfing last year, and I'm pretty much ranked at this point. So.
I had 2 memes yesterday. I sent this dude in a golf group chat. I'm like, Ash, this is you. Like, gotta make sure I get a new driver. That's what's wrong with my shot. I'm like, okay, Ash.
It was actually.
And then 2 weeks later, I went back to my old driver. That one wasn't working for me. I'm like, bro, it's how you swing. He's like, I'm not like you. I'm not that bad. I'm like, okay.
Did you do anything else, like sports wise, like kickball, softball?
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I just like. I feel as an adult more. I appreciate like the younger years of just doing the outside stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kickball. If it's, I done tried to set up. Like I'm the guy that'll make a post and be like, hey, let's go to the tennis court. Like, hey, let's go here. Or I'll get like some rackets or whatever. Or trying to do like bowling. So I'll buy all the stuff, but a lot of times it don't even get used. But I'm the guy to try to initiate.
Okay,
that's pretty cool.
Like a leadership mindset.
Right?
Yeah.
You ball out on them?
Yeah.
Are you nice?
No, I'm okay.
Okay.
You want to tell me your average, Gabe?
My average? Nah, what are you gonna? I'll just say I threw a 243 yesterday.
Hey,
that's all I'm gonna say.
Nice.
Yeah, no,
very good game.
No, that's great. But I feel like a lot of people too. They don't know like with bowling, you can have literally. You can average like a 160 and get a free ride.
Shit.
But the thing is, bowling is the same season as basketball.
Yeah,
Gotcha,
so it just gets lost. That's why Mookie Betts does it. Mookie Betts, he plays baseball in MLB, and he does like the whole like bowling season.
Nice.
So if you can look back in high school, what sport would you have played more of versus just basketball?
I probably would have tried out for track. Because I remember coming out of basketball practice, they had the bar, like the jump bar. And I think Matumbo, it was a classmate at the time, he had jumped over it and cleared it. I was like, man, I could do that. And like no form at all, just literally cleared it. And
nice.
And then the track coach was like, who are you? Where are you? And they're like, you need to come out for this. But it was, again, it was like those distractions where I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to give up this time and miss out. That's what I thought I was going to miss out on something.
Yeah, that's I think my favorite memories from high school. And I tell everybody that just all my practices, baseball practice, basketball practice, just like anything that's sports wise. That's the only thing I really miss from high school now.
I wish I would have did golf in high school. Now that I think about it and like how much I like to golf, I'm like, I really wish I would have did it.
So why you could have been bad longer? Or
So also in your bio, you said your guilty pleasure TV show is Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Do you have a guilty pleasure music like song that you like whatever it is, like it just makes you like
just quiver, huh? Is that what you're going for?
Like, it could be like the most random song that you would never think that person would listen to, and it's just like that's my go-to guilty pleasure song.
So pretty much his favorite alternative song that people wouldn't think they catch him listening to. Is that what you're trying
exactly?
To
like,
thank you.
But music has no genders. You can't be like he can listen to whatever the fuck he wants.
True, but like okay, but
no,
like
I get what you're saying.
Okay,
but it's like for me, like I don't know, like personally, I'm terrible with like favorites and different stuff like that because I just appreciate everything. So
okay,
I don't really have like a favorite song or a favorite anything.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Watch your questions, man. You be sounding suspect.
Hey, how does that sound?
No, I knew what he meant.
I'm not even gonna ask how that sounds suspect.
Can you answer your own question then? What's your favorite?
Guilty
I got a couple. I mean, you could see me driving down the street listening to some Lady Gaga applause. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised at that.
I've been dancing in my car singing a song, and I've had people record me. Like, I don't care.
Wait, you said pause to Lady Gaga?
No, I said applause.
Oh, okay.
That's the name of the song.
I said pause. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Whatever. Don't talk.
I
to
mean,
me.
it's again music.
Do you have a song that you jam out
I
to?
appreciate all the good music from Lizzo to doesn't even matter, like Lady Gaga.
Country music?
No,
Hannah
He
Montana?
said no.
I can't do country. I tried, but
Why
it's
can't you
just,
do country?
I just when I listen to it, I'm like, man,
What about rap
my dog
country?
just died, huh? What happened?
Rap country.
I seen Chance the Rapper did
What's that
the
show?
Nelly song.
Yes.
In the country style.
Nah,
Really?
I would listen to that though if he did that, but like, I don't gravitate towards.
You don't like Morgan Wallen, dog?
His album came out.
I know,
I've
shit.
been listening to it.
Shit,
All right.
it's a lot of songs, bro. I gotta listen to it in waves, bro. If you hit me with a 30-piece, I'm like, bro, chill out.
Maybe because growing up, I wasn't familiar with the country music.
And that's fair. Because,
I grew up in the R&B, 90s, 80s type of vibe.
That's
so,
all I've been listening to like the last 2 weeks, heavy.
I'm gonna start doing what you said though, like so
Bro,
no
yeah.
rap before.
Yeah, no rap before.
No rap before noon, dog. Yeah.
It just
Why is
resets your
that?
spirit though.
I
It
just
feels
feel
good.
like honestly, like if you're forced to like listen to anything that isn't violence like related, you're gonna have a better mindset within the day.
Okay.
No, for sure.
I agree. I like that. I like that philosophy.
Yeah, so I start my mornings off with the "Smooth Operator" by Sade.
Man,
I appreciate you dropping some of those musics in the group chat the other day.
Who? That was me.
He dropped some. You dropped 2 songs.
Well, I try to like every other
Yeah.
day. Yeah, just
You dropped
So
some
yeah, lately I've been going to the gym like super crazy. And I told him like the only thing I've been listening to is just classic R&B.
No, that's intense.
It's straight classic R&B while you're working
I
out.
said, be careful, man. You're gonna be fucking them weights, man.
So Dominic, we asked you all these questions. Do you have any questions for us?
What like how was this birthed?
Go ahead,
Because you
Jacob.
guys said it's been about 2 years, so you're looking at like the latter and the COVID.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we
Pretty
started doing
much,
COVID.
yeah.
So it basically started in the summer of 20. Basically, these two
Spring.
guys,
Spring of 20.
spring of 20. We
Just pause real quick. I think we should literally put a jar. Don't put nothing on it. And one of us, like each time, like we should rotate, have to put $1 in that jar every time we get this question. Just to like count how many dollars, like at the end of the year, we've been asked
Hell
that
yeah,
question.
dude.
But no, it started from those two guys over there talking about creating a podcast, and then they kind of like got everybody wrangled in slowly. It was me and Ash, and then Gabe was around, and then we had another friend of ours that was on here, and it just spurred from us buying really shitty equipment. And
Oh yeah, that was rough.
it was rough. We had like these really shitty microphones, and
A fucking soundboard that
Oh yeah,
looked
that
like
little
a
2-piece
trash can.
soundboard. Oh god, that was bad.
So now the equipment we have now, and what we've done in the last 2 years. My bad, that was my stomach.
What the fuck was that?
What we've done in the past 2 years has been really good. We've brought on a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs, artists,
Teachers.
realtors, teachers. You know, I don't know if you remember Brian Clark from Admiral King. He's
Yeah.
an English teacher. We brought him on last year.
yeah, we had him on.
Yeah, so just a whole bunch of different people in our lives that we want to just highlight what they're doing.
We've had Javon Terrence on.
Okay.
Yeah, so the idea is just to like we know local celebrities that don't get enough flowers like they're supposed to. So like our platform kind of like gives them another shelf life of like we appreciate all you've done, share your story, like because somebody else may need some information that you're saying.
Yeah.
And to piggyback what Asha said, we also like want to cast a wider net. That's why by the end of this year, our media group will be producing 5 podcast shows,
That's
which
dope.
I think is a very ambitious goal for us. Just from starting out where we started off at with really no clear direction of like, yeah, we wanted to start a show, but besides that, we didn't know nothing else to it.
And plus, like it's the consistency of doing something and getting the results of like
Yes.
we stay consistent at this for quite a while. We'll become I don't know the iHeartMedia of Lorain type of deal, like
That's cool with me.
or something in that trajectory. Because again, like we're in the age group now where it's like our influence is going to carry on to Broadway, and we want to eventually get ourselves on Broadway and be like we're the face of the next shift of Lorain.
Right.
Jacob's gonna try to get it to Broad Street, but
Exactly.
But hey, insider information. I'm looking at a house in Lorain tomorrow, so
Mhm.
I could be John's neighbor. We'll see.
Yeah.
Now, Dominic, I have a couple questions for you.
All right.
So you mentioned earlier the Urban League and stuff you're doing. Are you still doing those things actively, or?
Yeah. So in the summer, one of the things that we do is once the youth get out of school, brother and I, we do fitness training, mentoring, and then we try to introduce them to entrepreneurship as well.
Nice.
So that's pretty much like from they get out of school all the way back to when school starts. And that we do Monday through Thursday at 8 a.m. So we keep it early to make sure the kids are like really about it. And we're probably with them maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours a day. And yeah, it goes a long way.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Like you said, community based, and when you can do it, you love to do that, and that's amazing.
Yep. That then too, like the next thing, because I'm trying to think of the months we're in March. So the next project will be like the Juneteenth. So we do a big Juneteenth celebration at Fulton Parks, or John, what is his name? I don't.
Johnny Wilson Park?
Yeah, Johnny Wilson Park. So we're not Fulton Park, but we do something from there. And like if you guys might see it, yeah, we tend to have like 200 to 300 people out there.
Nice.
Just giving back to the community.
And I also seen that you're starting to do like teach financial wellness to people.
Yeah, so that's a good piece, and I feel like I actually got to do one this month. So I'm gonna reach out to the people. I wanted to gear it towards individuals 18 to 26, I think I did. But then a lot of my own peers like reached out to me and was like, hey, I need that too. So I'm going to do another one probably in like 2 weeks. But I want to keep it at least 15 people, work with them like four sessions, and then get a new group and then just keep recycling it. So then build from there, get the data, find a grant writer, apply for some grants and stuff, and then be able to utilize that and then bring other speakers in. Because I have people that are in like life insurance policies, realtors, and different entities reached out to me as well once they saw that I was doing that. And I feel like that's big because we weren't really taught that, especially when it comes to like life insurance policies.
Oh no, of course, yeah.
Yeah. It's just one of those things you don't think of until like that moment happens, and it's like,
well, it's a gray area for a lot of people. But again, like getting into the wealthy mindset, it's like that's what they use.
Or like I was a beneficiary of life insurance policy, and I didn't even know like I heard of it, like I was aware of what it was, but I was like, what? Like I wasn't like one of those things like, oh really? Oh okay. Like I was completely lost and naive to the whole notion of a life insurance policy until I was a recipient of one. I'm like, oh, this is actually very smart.
Yeah.
Especially with me having kids, I'm like, yeah, that's something I need to really look into.
No, for sure. So that's like one of the things we're going into the financial piece to be taught and make the awareness about it. Because a lot of times, it's just that lack of knowledge, or like I said, like that gray area. Because I know wealthier families, they utilize that as like their banks for real.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I've seen like the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and them. They pretty much have a trust, so they buy a universal policy or a cash value policy, and then every family member, they have their own policy, and then they can utilize the money from that to create different businesses. And then say if a family member was to pass that was in that unit, that policy would just fuel that pot back up. So it's not really a loss.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
So ideally, like you're recycling your own money, like it's staying in the pot and like it never leaves your circle.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So like me and my first cousins, I ignited like a conversation with them where we'll meet on Zoom and then we'll just have some goals, talk about different stuff, and then just try to build. Because one of the things like right now, they can make anything in the world, but they can't remake land. So my biggest thing is to try to acquire land to have.
Yep.
And then back to like the show The Yellowstone, like seeing that they had so much land that all these other entities were trying to come in and take it from them.
Exactly.
So
Never seen the show.
I want to
but
be under the radar.
Right.
Great
I want
show.
to have enough land, but I don't want to have as much where people are trying to come and take it.
That's something I'm trying to get back into too, because I've taken real estate classes before, and I've always had this notion of like I want to flip a house, whether it's 20 or just one. Like I want to put my hat in the ring and do at least one in my life.
Gotcha.
To see if I can even do it. You know, I could set out to do it, not make any money or break even, be like, you know what, this isn't for me.
Yeah.
But I believe I have enough knowledge and I've accumulated enough research to at least try it wholeheartedly one time.
Me too. Like I'm in it, not just yet. But one of my goals is to acquire property, because with being an entrepreneur, I have to view things different because I don't have a retirement. I don't have a 401k to be matched by anybody. So for my wife and I, we're both entrepreneurs. So I dabble a little bit in stock, got a little savings, trying to build it a little bit more. Like I'll sit in property auctions to see, and if I'm able to buy some at the time, I'll pull the trigger. The last one that I went to, it was an annual one, so they typically do it in the fall, and everything was just going too high price.
Stupid.
So it was like the brother that I do the training with in the summer, me and him would sit next to each other, and we kind of agreed, like if we saw something that we wanted, we'd go half with each other. And he's hit me again. It was over the Hardee's building.
Okay.
And he's like, man, bro, let's get this building. And I was like, I didn't see the vision. And he's like, oh, it could be a venue. And I'm like, it's not big enough. So like that was where we were at that moment. But the properties, it was like burnt houses that were going for like $28,000.
Stupid.
It's like I knew one house for sure off Oberlin Avenue like had a huge hole in its roof. It caught on fire, and somebody just went and bid off of the Google image.
Ooh.
And paid like 30-something thousand for it.
Bro.
So it sat probably over 10 years. So I know like the piping work on and everything. So just seeing that. But ultimately, I do want to get into the properties because that would be my use of retirement. So I have life insurance policy set up, but then also like have a property that can be
income.
This one is a residual that can be for solely retirement, or these two could be for retirement. This one could be for when we do have a child and go that way. This one could be for savings. This one could just be for travel. So just accrue all of those and then allow it to do itself.
I like your financial mindset because it kind of reminds me of something I can't remember if it was something I read or a picture that I saw, but it's like a table. You're not going to have a one income table because it's not stable. It's not. But you from how it sounds from your point of view, you're seeking for that 4-legged table or that 5-legged table to make sure your financials just stable for anything.
Yeah.
Well, ideally, like opportunities in the mind of the holder. Like so you see a tree, and I'll say metaphorically, God gave us trees, right? But for a visionary, you see, I can build a boat, I can build a table, I can build something out of this one substance. So it's like you have to look at something and have a vision for it. So
no, for sure.
Why'd your mind go to treehouse?
Because you said a tree.
No, yeah.
What? I look for shelter.
Yeah.
You could build a house though. Why would you just a regular house?
And what I learned, because I was telling you guys about like hunting and stuff. So my neighbor, he gave me game on. He's looking for acres. So you can have. I know he was looking in the Virginias, and it might have been like 100 acres. And I'm like, man, 100 acres. My mind says like the taxes on that annually would be crazy.
And he's like, rent it out though.
No, but listen. So for him, he's like, well, I would keep it as a classification of hunting and like gaming grounds. So in turn, if he had X amount of acres, he can either one bring a RV, which he already has on the property, and the taxes will never change, and you're looking at literally like less than $500 a year for over 100 acres. So when it comes to that, you have that set up, but then he can create a barn. If he builds something that's natural, the classification never changes. But if he wanted to do like a brick and mortar on that land, that's when everything changes.
Right.
So then the taxes would change. So he's like, I'm gonna go out there, be on my RV, and live off the land. So that's like a big vital thing for me. And like for this season, I'm gonna be doing my own garden as well.
Yeah, in your bio it said that you enjoy land, like cutting the grass and stuff like that. And is that just kind of like full circle moment from like when you did that, when you would do that for like chores and stuff?
It kind of brings you back to when you were 5.
Right.
Yeah, with my grandfather. So it was just like, I felt like those type of duties was just something that I appreciated, and it became more of like a custom. Okay. So a lot of times it's like, you know, if we saw it growing up, it becomes natural as we get older. So yeah, it's just like one of those things where my dad and I, we at a point we were doing the landscaping together. That built a relationship, so that kind of flowed into once I had my own grass to cut, that I took pride in that as well.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I like that full circle moment right there.
I hate like how everybody is with grass. Like you see one person cutting the grass, and then you're like, all right, bet I gotta cut my grass.
Me and my neighbor.
Hey, look,
and it's like an unspoken like disagreement. Like, nah, mine's belongs the best.
But hey, look, there's my neighbor. She's like 75-year-old, and I'll tell you what, weekly, because it's just her weekly. I'm like,
that's probably her exercise.
You're trying to make me cut my grass more because I got to keep up with you.
You should see my neighborhood. So we have, it's like a closed-in area, and it's 10 houses.
Okay.
And I want to say that the individuals next to us, they're my age. The 2 families across the street, they're kind of my age as well. And then everyone else is retired. So you said a week. These people are cutting their grass every 3 days.
Oh, God.
Hell no. My neighbor, the guy who's, taught me a little about hunting, he'll cut the grass one day at like a 4, and then he'll come back the next day and cut it at a 3 so it doesn't distress the lawn.
There's a whole science behind it.
Or if I cut the grass, so say if he did his two-day thing, okay, and then I was to cut the grass that next day, he's gonna come and cut the grass. So I do it on purpose.
That's funny.
So I do stuff like that, or I'll just wake up early, because like our time zone probably is like 8. Okay. You could do it at 8 o'clock. Everybody be cool. Okay. If I'm out there by 8. Somebody's gonna be out there with me cutting at 10.
They're like, oh, he out here? Okay, well, God. Let me go get the shoes on there.
Right, let me start my engine.
Man, can't let the minority beat us.
All right. Want to lead into mental health check, guys? Is that cool with everybody?
What time are we at?
We at 53.
53. Cool.
So every episode, we go into a mental health check. Okay. 1 through 10, how we are mentally, physically, financially. You just give a number. Ash, why don't you go first since you're the best at it?
This week I'm at about 9. Yeah. Why would you?
I wanted you to do a 10.
I mean,
no.
I discourage people from saying 10.
Just because, like yesterday, I did indulge, and I had a good time yesterday, but I'm kind of feeling the after effects of it today.
You're getting old there, bro.
Yeah, I'm learning that too.
Struggle.
Like, I can't be, out here.
Gotta pace yourself.
Yeah. So, probably get some food, and I'll be good. Yeah.
Preach.
Yeah.
Preach.
Man, I'm like halfway hungover, halfway fasting by accident. I'm fasting by accident right now. No, I had a good week, man. It was a good week. Stressful work, though. I was just dealing with a lot of people and a lot of the situations. It's just, you sometimes just got to close your door and just like breathe for a minute and just settle down. Had a really good date nights with my girlfriend. We went out last night. We did karaoke, and I actually sung for the first time at karaoke, so that was cool.
All right.
You know, look, there's a video somewhere. Yeah. So, I don't know. As far as anything else, I'm really hungry, so that's probably affecting my score. I think I'm gonna go like at 8.5 right now. Everything's good as far as like clarity goes and future goals are going. Yeah, I can't complain. So
I will say though, I'm saying discipline because I was not going to go to the gym today, but I went. So
that's what's up.
How many days you go this week?
This week, since March 1st, I've been going every day. I'm going to 2 a days, but I don't want to overexert myself. So
if you do, just go for like heavy reps. Not like heavy reps, but like many. Like
yeah. Usually I'll do cardio in the morning and then I'll come back and do like weights in the afternoon. So that's
I got a question before we move on.
Mm-hmm.
Getting up in the morning, you get up early because you get up before work.
4 a.m. club.
Can you guys just give me some tips, man? I'm trying so hard to get up early and I just can't.
Best advice I can give you: get your ass up.
Yeah,
set the alarm. Bro. Don't hit the snooze
so
4 times.
What time are you? What's your goal?
Well, we have a 6 o'clock alarm, and then we have a 6:15 and a 6:30.
So what are you allowing yourself to wake up to then? The 6:30 one? Because then you might as well just shut the first 2 off and then wake up and get up. I'm being serious. So don't wake up in increments. Just wake up and get up like that.
I know, but so what our goal is like, okay, 6:30, but the 6 o'clock alarm is in the other room and it makes me get up. So at least now at that point I'm up.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, it's like, okay,
I hear you. Then that's kind of cool. Though.
So it's kind of like a little like a little
mini timer.
Mm-hmm. We'll touch on the shoulder, but
no, honestly, just like you got to set an intention though the day before. Like I'm going to get up at this time.
You got to have a goal.
Yeah.
Like, what are you trying to accomplish when you get up though? Like, you going to the gym or you going?
I'm trying, but I got my gym member, so I'm paying them rent right now. So
just donating your money at this point.
Where you at, Gabe?
I would say I'm at like a 9. The devil been working hard, but I ain't going out like that, bro.
All right, I feel it.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Mr. Dominic?
I would say for myself, I'm at like a 8.5. I would say like a 9.5 once, because I've been working on my website, so like that's been taking a lot out of me. And then I know a few invoices are gonna get paid, so once that happens,
that's
I'll
always
be
good.
at a higher number.
Nice.
Mr. Cliff?
I'm at a solid 8. I'm not too high. I'm not too low. It's been a steady week. Could have won some money yesterday that would have put me at a 10, but outside of that,
good old parlay.
So look, man, one leg. The fight before the main event, there was an upset. Yeah, that bullshit ass upset. Man, I'm like, what the fuck?
So angry.
That's why I'm at an 8.
Okay.
So with that being said, I mean, it's all good. I only lost $5. Could have won $240. So I forward to that $240.
I'm a solid 8.5. Earlier this week I had a parlay going. I had a $5 to win 400 or something. I just needed the 76ers to outscore the Miami Heat in the first quarter. All the other 7 legs hit, but they couldn't do that. So whatever.
That's when they call it in. Like, hey, if somebody got a 7-legger
right
on an 8,
right,
fuck it up.
But besides that, I mean, this week's been pretty good. I've been looking at different tips to make us more cost efficient. Looking at different programs to smooth out our operations and stuff like that. And besides that, looking at houses. So everything's been going good.
Heck yeah.
But is that it? Is that the episode, guys?
Yep. Let's give a shout out to our sponsor, Creative Genius Brand. Make sure you go on the website, www.creativegeniusbrand.org. Click on the tab IOU. Get yourself some merch. Oh, I am dropping new merch for us this month.
That's what I like to hear.
Stay tuned for that.
Copy.
But besides that,
you want to drop yours? You want to drop your handles?
Drop your handles?
How can we get to Mr. Dominic? Other than these amazing business cards, by the way.
Appreciate it. No, so all my handles from Instagram, Facebook, so Firstxxiv Media Group, and then my website. It should be complete by, I would say by this Wednesday. I was gonna say Friday, but Wednesday.
Okay,
there you go.
Completed, updated. Mm-hmm. I was waiting on my domain to be transferred, so I have made a shift from platforms of my website, but by Wednesday that'll be done, and that is www.firstxxiv.com.
That's what, 24?
Good stuff.
Yep.
Okay, that's why I was like, there's numbers and letters and I get confused. And
You're like Alan off The Hangover trying to like.
That's how I felt right there. I was like, X, I know that's time. You got a jump for us today, bud?
Yeah, I do. I know for sure that what we dwell on is who we become, and that's by Miss Oprah Winfrey.
She a boss. Shout out Oprah. Well, it's been another episode of It's On Us. Everybody take care, and bye, Mom.
See ya.